WABC New York, WRCR Haverstraw, and 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays.
It's the 77 WABC News Hour.
Talking the news with Noah Layden.
All the news you need to know with Joe Nolan, traffic, Justin Ellick, sports. And now,
Talking the news with Noah
on 77 WABC.
Yes, that's me. Good morning. It is Friday, July 24th. Your forecast from the 77 WABC Weather Center. A sunny, beautiful day on the way, the high 82. And then the weekend just looks great. Saturday, sunshine, high 82. Sunday, sunny, high 83. Both days, low humidity. If you're walking out the door with us right now, 61 and clear in Greenburgh up in Westchester. It's 58 and clear in Morristown over in New Jersey. And it's 63 and clear right outside our Midtown studios.
This is the Top 5 at 5.
A vicious stabbing spree has Westsiders on edge. A Queens community rallies around a soldier's family. A New Jersey town back open for business today. How much would you pay for World Cup turf? That Con Ed worker at your door may be conning you. All right, let's get into it at 5:04. A deranged attacker yelling Allahu Akbar stabbed two men Upper West Side yesterday afternoon. Learning more about this overnight, investigators probing whether the attacker, 51-year-old Raul Morales, was motivated by hate, though Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says an initial investigation suggests that mental health had been a factor in this attack. Morales allegedly jumped the first victim, a 57-year-old Asian man near West 84th and Central Park West, stabbed him in the back with a knife. This was about 1:30 in the afternoon. The second victim, a 50-year-old man wearing a yarmulke, was attacked after leaving a synagogue at Amsterdam Avenue and West 86th Street, and he was stabbed in the torso with a screwdriver. Well, this eyewitness spoke to ABC News.
And the next thing I see is a screwdriver in his chest. I walked right next to the attacker, basically. He was just a few feet away from me. He didn't seem crazy. You know, sometimes you see people, they're screaming, they're acting weird. He was not.
Both victims brought to St. Luke's Hospital. They're listed in stable condition this morning. Morales, well, he was caught about 2:45 yesterday after he allegedly barricaded himself inside a NYCHA apartment building just blocks away on Amsterdam Avenue near 88th Street.
All I know is I was just praying that he was going to get to the emergency room.
She's talking about one of the victims, Nava Silton. She was speaking with the second victim, that's the Jewish victim. He had been inside the synagogue before the attack, and so she was shocked to hear exactly what had taken place.
And that on this very, very solemn day, to have...
The solemn day she's talking about was yesterday was the Jewish holiday of Tisha B'Av, which is a commemoration of the destruction of the Second Temple.
I mean, that's a contemporary of mine in a synagogue that I've been going to for many, many years. It's very scary.
Yeah, so she says the victim told her someone drove a screwdriver into the right side of his chest as he yelled something. He thought it was Allahu Akbar. A witness observed Morales walking erratically, shouting incoherently, including yelling the word Islam. This was on Columbus Avenue right before the attack. Now, a knife and a screwdriver were recovered following his arrest. Several New Yorkers blasting the stabbing as another apparent senseless attack on Jewish New Yorkers.
People want to live as Jews as they always have, and now they feel like they can't.
Everybody weighing in on this. City Council Speaker Julie Menin put a statement up on X that she was sickened and furious by what appears to be an anti-Semitic stabbing. Mayor Mamdani wrote on X last night that he had been briefed on the horrified stabbings. 5:06, the family of Sergeant Angel Rampersad, the Queen's soldier who was killed in those Iranian strikes in Jordan last Friday, they're going to hold a community vigil on Monday. Angel's family stood outside her Ozone Park home yesterday. This is her aunt reflecting on the 28-year-old's life.
Angel was always a happy, contented, and calm person all through her life. In the face of every crisis that her family encountered, she would be the calming element all the time.
Rampersad emigrated from Trinidad. She was 2 years old at the time, went through the Queens public school system before attending CUNY colleges and enlisting in the Army at the age of 21.
I am a mother that is highly proud of her. And I know she was really, really focused on what she was doing. She loved it.
And the Bloc Association, which has really put their arms around this family, they want to rename the block in honor of Rampersad.
She fought for this country and she died for this country, and I am a mother is highly proud of her.
Yeah, the family says it's awaiting the release of her daughter to make her final funeral arrangements. Rampersad's mother thanking the community for showing their support over the last 48 hours. WABC News Time 5:09. Another violent night in the Middle East. Missiles going back and forth. President Trump has another warning for Iran.
Trump said on social media that if the Houthis shoot at Saudi Arabian ships again, that the U.S. will hold Iran responsible and inflict major military punishment on them both.
Correspondent Jagrudi Davy there reports the president taking to Truth Social to issue a warning announcing that the Houthis shot at 2 Saudi Arabian ships in the Red Sea on Wednesday night. He says the rebel group had acted professionally and smart since the U.S. concluded its military campaign against it in May 2025. But he says now he's very disappointed by their involvement.
He said that the U.S. had attacked the Houthis very powerfully a year ago for their interference with commerce and trade. This was a reference to a 2-month bombing campaign on the Houthis in Yemen last year that the U.S. conducted. The Houthis were attacking ships in the Red Sea in solidarity with Gaza, and the U.S. responded. Donald Trump has said that during the conflict with Iran, the Houthis have acted very responsibly, but unfortunately they're now starting up again. Both Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary of State, are blaming Iran for the actions by the Houthis.
Yeah, and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, yesterday saying any action Iran takes against the U.S. is going to be met now with overwhelming force. I
saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing. They're already paying a very heavy price.
The U.S. launching airstrikes last night against Iran, 13th consecutive night, with Iranian media reporting blasts in a number of cities. And then sirens went off in Bahrain after Iran's army said they launched drone over U.S. bases in that kingdom, as well in Jordan again. A U.S. missile strike in Iran overnight left 4 dead, 5 injured. And you had the Iranian foreign minister saying earlier this morning that he called this mindless aggression. And he says that will only see President Trump pay a heavier price for a deal to end the war. Now, that was all going on. The president yesterday saying a nuclear deal between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia is subject to Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords, making full peace with Israel. You had Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt talking about this deal yesterday.
He wants to see these countries sign the Abraham Accord. It was one of the most historic accomplishments of his first term, and it continues to be a long-term goal of his to expand those accords to ultimately come to a place where the Middle East can be a peaceful and stable region.
Now, those who worked on this deal, this nuclear deal with the U.S. and Saudi Arabia, seem to be completely surprised by what they say was the last-minute addition of that Israel clause, the Abrams Accord. But Leavitt went on to say that a potential deal with Saudi Arabia would benefit American industry, workers, supply chains.
Yes, this deal with Saudi Arabia, the energy deal, is contingent on this condition as far as the president is concerned. We'll continue to talk with our Saudi counterparts to get the deal finalized and hopefully see them joining the Abraham Accords very soon.
Some lawmakers, though, raising concerns about how the agreement could fuel nuclear proliferation in the Middle East. 5:13, let's bring it back home out to New Jersey. Several states say they're auditing their voter rolls after thousands of non-citizens were registered to vote in New Jersey. News Nation's Joe Cahill has more.
The governor of New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill, says that this was 6,600 people. Of those, less than 400 actually voted in a state where 4.3 million people voted in 2024. Obviously, a couple hundred, that's not going to change any outcomes of elections, but it is still serious. It is still illegal for non-citizens to be voting at all. So Governor Sherrill says this is not a grand conspiracy. This is not evidence of massive voter fraud.
The White House seizing on that discovery as a reason to pass the president's SAVE Act voting overhaul legislation. 5:14, the president announcing yesterday a commitment from major utilities and companies that consumers will not bear the extra electricity costs of those AI data centers that are opening up across the country. The president detailing what he calls the ratepayer protection plan, meant to reduce the burden of skyrocketing electric bills for consumers while still keeping an edge in the AI race.
Under this groundbreaking plan, America's largest tech companies have formally committed to fund or build all energy infrastructure required to meet the demand they are placing on the grid.
He says the plan includes letting tech companies build their own power plants. This comes as opposition to data centers grow, leading some states to consider construction moratoriums like New York has.
We know that the data centers and AI are dramatically increasing the demand for electricity. It's only fair that the cost of building the new infrastructure required to meet this demand should be borne by the corporations themselves.
Yeah, him making that announcement yesterday. In a moment, we'll stay down in D.C., where they'll try again and do the White House Correspondents' Dinner tonight. We'll get to that story in just a moment. But first, 5:15, let's head over to the 77 WABC Sports Desk. Happy Friday. Good morning, Justin Ellick.
Happy Friday. Good morning to you, Noam Laden. Quiet day yesterday here locally. No baseball to get to. Both the Mets and the Yankees were off. The Yankees will head to Philadelphia for the opener of a 3-game weekend series tonight. 6:45 p.m. is your first pitch. Yankees and Phillies. Cam Schlittler to start for New York against Phillies' Jesus Luzardo. Yanks head into the weekend 2 games back at Tampa Bay for first place in the AL East. As for the Mets, off yesterday as well, they'll welcome in the Dodgers for the opener of a 3-game weekend series here. John Manaea to start for New York against LA's Roki Sasaki. And speaking of the Dodgers, President Donald Trump welcomed the defending World Series champion team to the White House yesterday, calling the team, quote, one of the great brands anywhere in the world during a Rose Garden event celebrating its second title in as many years. Dodger star right fielder Mookie Betts wasn't at yesterday's Rose Garden event, though he made the 2025 visit. Said he'd rather spend the day off with family. Send out sort of an apology, a preemptive apology, Mookie Betts, saying, I apologize to anybody that's going to be pissed off by this, because there are certainly going to be people out there that are pissed off. So Mookie trying to get out ahead of the news there, but he was not at the White House.
I liked what the president said at the end. He said, I'll see you guys next November.
Exactly. Right, I might see you guys again next year, and, chances are he could be right.
Yeah.
During a rally in Georgia on Wednesday as well, the president also slammed the Mets for their sky-high payroll and losing record, saying they have the highest salary in the major leagues. I'm not sure he meant the word salary there. Payroll would have been the right terminology at that rally in Georgia. But, sending a little jab the Mets way, and they lose all the damn time. And he's right about that. God, the highest payroll in baseball. Nobody gives a damn about him. And in the NFL, Giants officially open training camp on Tuesday next week. Rookies reported yesterday. As for the Jets, rookies will report tomorrow, followed by veterans reporting on Tuesday of next week as well. That is your Sports Noam, and I'm Justin Ellick on 77 WABC.
WABC News Time 5:19. The rescheduled White House Correspondents' Dinner set for tonight in the nation's capital.
Tomorrow night, the president will attend the White House Correspondents Association Dinner Round 2, celebrating free speech and the First Amendment alongside all of you, members of the media.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says it promises to be an entertaining and she called memorable evening, and she was urging Americans to tune in.
The president looks forward to finishing what he started before a despicable assassination attempt derailed the original event back in April, as we all know. I encourage everyone watching tomorrow night to tune in for what promises to be a very entertaining and memorable evening.
Okay, so the dinner will be held tonight at the Waldorf Astoria in D.C. instead of the Washington Hilton, where that assassination attempt took place. 5:20, a delay in calling federal agents may have hurt the investigation into the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, in Arizona. That's at least what FBI Director Kash Patel is saying. He was on Fox News. He says he was ready to deploy his staff to Guthrie's southern Arizona Arizona home on day one, but he says they were kept out.
The first 48 hours of anyone's disappearance are the most critical. And here's how these cases works. It is a state matter. It's a state and local law enforcement matter. What we, the FBI, do is say, hey, we're here to help. What do you need? What can we do? And for 4 days, we were kept out of the investigation.
Patel credits his team for working with Google to retrieve critical video footage of the suspect. Remember that doorbell camera video? He also tells the outlet more data may have been available if they had gotten access to the video cache earlier.
But can we go into the cache? Can we go into the data before it's deleted and see what we can find? That's why you have that image, because the FBI worked with Google to put that image out.
Still amazing that we have nothing on this case. The mother of the Today Show host has been missing all the way since February 1st. 521, more than 11,000 cases of cyclospora are being reported now. Those are the reported cases. The thought is it's much higher than that, with 41 states reporting cases linked to the stomach parasite. The CDC says it's continuously monitoring the case count, and so, of course, our consumers worried they'll be the next.
I know it's pretty widespread, but in terms of total numbers, I think the cases are still relatively small.
So it's like, what's going on with that, right?
Yeah.
Definitely wondering where it's coming from, because if I'm eating fruits and veggies, getting these smoothies.
I had a salad yesterday, and my stomach is really messed up today.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's my fear, too. Like, they haven't really been clear. Am I not supposed to eat salad? Am I supposed to? It's good for you, and I shouldn't eat fruit. I only eat fruits with peels on them. We haven't really heard yet, but the multi-state outbreak is thought to be linked to iceberg lettuce, and there was a point where it was Taylor Farms, one of the companies that recalled iceberg lettuce that was sourced from central Mexico, but then they said it was a false positive, so it's not clear where we stand today.
Yeah, and I wouldn't know that because it's not like it's fresh, it's like pre-made. Who knows where they made it? It might be contaminated at the wherever factory they made it at, so I don't know. If it don't come from my house, no, I'm not even going to eat lettuce. I'm not even going to say I'm going to prepare them at my house. I'm just stay away from it. That's all.
You know, I looked at my salad bag from Trader Joe's to see where it was sourced from, and it did say it wasn't Mexico, but then I thought, well, I just chucked it in the garbage can. I had a bowl of cereal instead. A South Texas nun who was taken into immigration custody while walking to Mass in her habit. Well, she's speaking out for the first time about what happened to her.
Even when I told him, can I go to Mass? Can I just attend Mass? Can I receive communion? And the answer was no.
That's Sister Letty Obwaja. She's from McAllen, Texas. She says there are others in her same situation, and they don't get the media attention, so she's using the spotlight she now has to urge the federal immigration and the federal immigration agents, I should say, to give people the chance to be heard before being taken into custody.
A nun not to go to Mass on Sunday, not to receive communion. It was very, very heartbreaking for me. Now,
her attorney says yesterday that a judge granted her protection from removal from the country because she was likely to face torture in her home nation of Nigeria. While we're down in Texas, illegal immigration there has turned into a trickle, with newly released numbers showing that overall encounters are now down 90% compared to what we were seeing during the Joe Biden administration. Experts credit an end to their catch and release strategy.
Even if you get to the border, even if you cross the border, you have almost 100% chance of being sent back.
That's Ira Melman. He's with the Federation of American Immigration Reform, says there is a ripple effect. He points to a decline in drug seizures at the border, too. Homeland Security says that there have been zero releases at the border for the last 14 months now.
As long as we keep doing this, we're going to see more and more people deciding it just isn't worth trying to break our laws.
Yeah, that's been the case.
It frees up a lot of resources to go after the really bad guys.
Yeah, so, and as he says, people who are caught at the border are sent back to Mexico. 524, a hydrogen-powered car under development is drawing a lot of attention for its ambitious performance claims.
MSN reports French-Moroccan startup Namex has developed a hydrogen utility vehicle that could travel up to 932 miles on a single fill-up and refuel in as little as 5 seconds using a hydrogen cartridge system. Developers say the vehicle is designed as an alternative to both gasoline and battery-powered cars, producing only water vapor emissions. Supporters say innovations like this could play a growing role in the future of clean transportation. I'm at Mattinson.
Out to Los Angeles, where prosecutors say bloodstains and forensic evidence presented at singer David's preliminary hearing this week is more than enough to show that he should be tried for the murder and stabbing and dismemberment death of a 14-year-old, Celeste Hernandez.
The defense attorneys really haven't been able to poke a hole in any of the prosecution's evidence that they put into place.
Yeah, yesterday, day 3 of David's preliminary hearing, which could last, they say, maybe a day or two more. GLP weight loss drugs are apparently saving companies a bucket of money.
A new study shows those on weight loss drugs took 17% less long-term sick leave than people who didn't use the medications. The study by the National Bureau of Economic Research shows the reduction in sick time used has led to savings for companies equal to 1.3 to 1.5% of an employee's salary. The study used a 30-day absence to define long-term sick leave. I'm Mark Mayfield.
While we're in Southern California, a so-called shark watcher there capturing some really scary footage via his drone. Carlos Ga says he was completely terrified when he was taking his drone footage off the coast of California, saw a 10-foot great white shark swimming directly towards a child. He's trying to figure out, how do I get notice to them? The children in the water, others nearby, completely unaware of the danger. They waved at the drone, in fact. Thankfully, for whatever reason, the shark took a second pass at the group, but then swam off. That drone operator saying in an Instagram post that he doesn't often get nervous, but he says this was one of those rare instances where he said, there was nothing I can do. I feared for their lives. Thank God they're okay. There is a new way to cool it down being offered in Japan. Its makers claim it beats air conditioning or a fan.
It's a 7-foot-tall stainless steel fridge, but it's not for food, it's for humans. It's called a personal cooling booth. The temperature's kept at 59 degrees, and once a person's inside, cold air is blasted at their head, neck, shoulders, and back. The industrial equipment supplier Trusco Nakayama marketing it for use at businesses and other public spaces during the summer heat. James Flippin for the Worldwide News Network.
It's the 77 WABC News Hour. Talking the news with Noam Laden. All the news you need to know with Joe Nolan, traffic, Justin Ellick, sports. And now, Talking the News with Noam on 77 WABC.
Yes, that's me. Good morning. It is Friday, July 24th. Your forecast from the 77 WABC Weather Center. Sunny, beautiful day on the way. Low humidity, high 82. And then the weekend looks fantastic. Saturday, sunshine, high 82. Sunday, sunny, high 83. If you're walking out the door with us right now, so happy you are. 61 clear in Greenburgh up in Westchester. It's 58 and clear in Morristown over in New Jersey. And it's 63 and clear right outside our Midtown studios. WABC News Time 540, the town of Edison, New Jersey, back open today. We told you earlier this week the town council couldn't come to an agreement on a budget. Some council members didn't even show up for a vote, so they could not take one. So in the process, they had to furlough 360 town employees, 10 police officers, all because the town council couldn't come to an agreement. Well, last night, you had people in Edison who said, wait a minute, how can you do this to people, not pay them for a week and put them out of work? That's outrageous. And so they gave these town council members a piece of their mind.
I'm pleading that whatever it is, you guys work it out.
That is a disgrace. It's really an absolute disgrace. And you do a disservice to the employees. Shame on you.
Our responsibility was to listen, to think, to speak up, and vote for the residents of Edison.
You know, they couldn't be more right. One of the council members, Biral Patel, who was not present during Monday's meeting, which was part of the reason that led to furloughing these workers, said that he was under the impression that the budget was funded until July 31st, and he had something he had to deal with, so he couldn't come. And then you had the PBA. They were there saying, how do you do this to police officers?
Everybody needs a job. Everybody needs to pay their bills. Just because they're laid off because the council couldn't agree on certain things, their mortgages didn't stop, their car payments didn't stop.
Yeah, you're elected a lawmaker. You got to think about the people, and then when you furlough them, it's a huge deal. The mayor says the furloughed employees will get back pay. It's not clear when that'll happen, but they did come up with some sort of deal that will keep the budget going for a while longer. While we're in New Jersey, a New Jersey assemblyman says FIFA is selling off MetLife Stadium's World Cup final grass, the turf from when Spain won the World Cup against Argentina last Sunday. He says that is illegal. The Assemblyman Michael Ingram-Moore argues the organization has no right to profit from what he says is state-owned property. He says, hey, New Jersey took out the turf from Giant Stadium or MetLife, whatever the hell you want to call it, and then put in the grass that FIFA said that they would have to put in. So, all the playing fields are exactly alike. And it cost about $11 million to do that. Well, now FIFA is taking small portions of that grass and selling it to fans. And you can imagine fans, especially in Spain, want a piece of that as a collectible. And if you go online, pieces of this go for about $450 to $3,000, which means if they sell off as much as they want to, they're going to make like $4 or $5 million. So this assemblyman says, wait a minute, we own that grass and we should profit from it.
That's the beginning, the middle, and the end. New Jersey taxpayers paid for the grass. It is state property. That means, as far as I'm concerned, if it is to be sold or disposed of in some way, it must follow the rules for surplus state property. And rule number 1 is to maximize the benefit for New Jersey taxpayers.
Now, the New Jersey host committee for the World Cup is claiming that they are receiving some of the proceeds, but the assembly member says, I want to see this. I want to see the paperwork, find out how much we're making.
And really, the ball is in the governor's court. I have compelled the governor to seek whether that is in some type of an injunction, some type of relief to stop this.
Now, a spokesperson from the governor's office did not answer a direct question about this yesterday. And then you have sports fans. They like to make fun of other sports fans. So like if someone offered me the turf from Giants Stadium, MetLife Stadium, whatever you want to call it, after the Giants won the Super Bowl, I might think about that. I don't know that I would pay $300 for it, but I sort of get what fans are doing there. But sports fans in New Jersey were making fun of the World Cup fans who were paying up to $1,000 for the piece of turf after Spain won the World Cup.
I think it's a scam. Because how do you know where it's coming from? Probably somebody will buy it. There's a fool made every moment out there. But if you need to have it, you need to have it. You should get it. Just not something I'd put on my list. New Jersey always gets the bad end of it. But that's how it is.
Yeah, so we'll find out where that money is going, hopefully soon enough. Coming up in just a moment, we'll go out to one of those homeless encampments, the one on the west side, hear from some of the homeless who were there and what they think about the fact that they may be moved out. We'll do that in just a moment. But first, 5:45, let's head over to the 77 WABC Sports Desk. And here's Justin Allen.
Thank you, Noah Maladen. Sports sponsored by Pete Morgan of Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com. Find a dealer near you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. Quiet day yesterday. Both the Mets and the Yankees off. Yankees will travel to Philadelphia tonight for the opener of a 3-game weekend series against the Phillies. That's 6:45 p.m. first pitch. Better get Apple TV as well. And that's where the game will be broadcast tonight. Cam Schlittler will start for New York against Phillies. Jesus Luzardo. Yankees head into the weekend 2 games back at Tampa Bay for first place in the East. As for the Mets, they'll welcome in the Dodgers for the weekend. 7:10 p.m. first pitch tonight for the opener of a 3-game weekend set. Sean Manaea start for New York against LA's Hiroki Sasaki. And speaking of the Dodgers, President Donald Trump welcomed the defending World Series champion team to the White House yesterday, calling them, quote, one of the great brands anywhere in the world during a Rose Garden event celebrating their second title in as many years. Dodgers star right fielder Mookie Betts was not at yesterday's Rose Garden event, though he did make the 2025 visit. He'll probably face some backlash for that. The president isn't always so complimentary of teams, though. During a rally in Georgia on Wednesday, the president also slammed the Mets for their sky-high payroll. Well, of course he's right. Says they lose all the time if they have the highest, quote, salary in baseball.
Well, we've known this for years, that having the highest payroll doesn't always mean you have the best team.
No, of course not. It's all about cohesion, Noam.
Yes, it is.
The guys need to come together in the clubhouse.
They do.
And clearly that's not happening anywhere near Queens, let me tell you that much. So, yeah, President Trump noticing all the way out in Washington, D.C. that the Mets aren't really anything special. And as for your football Giants, they officially open training camp on Tuesday of next week. Rookies did report yesterday. As for the Jets, rookies will report tomorrow, followed by veterans reporting on Tuesday of next week as well.
Is there any thought the Jets are going to be any good this year?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
But Geno Smith did stay out of prison, so there you go.
That's true. That's true.
That's a win heading into the season.
That's a huge win since he's their starting quarterback, yeah.
They're a mess. They always are. What can you do? Them and the Mets. The Jets and the Mets, right? It rolls right off the tongue, and you can pretty much always count on them to
and
let you
usually
down.
fans of the Mets are fans of the Jets. It always seems to work that way. And if you're a Yankees fan, you're a Giants fan.
Yeah. You'd be on the right side of history there.
Yeah.
Giants and Yankees. How about that? That's your support sponsored by Pete Morgan of Pillow Spoilers. Go to PillowSpoilers.com to find a deal near you. Pillow Spoilers, the world's best spoilers. I'm Justin Ellick on 77 WABC.
Thank you very much, Justin. I bet this Jets fan will disagree with the thought that they're going to have another losing season. What do you have to say, Joe Nolan?
I think they're going to be fine. I think you've got 8-9 wins in them. Garrett Wilson.
Really?
I think
8-9 wins?
Isaiah Williams is going to be. They've got a kid from Rutgers you got to watch. His name is D.T. Sheffield. He was great last year down in Piscataway, and he's one of the wide receivers, a walk-on guy. I mean, they got a lot of good players coming back, and of course Geno, and then this kid Klubnik. I mean, I think they're going to be a lot better than a lot of people think.
I hope you're right, because I'd like to see a competitive Jets team.
Oh, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Okay, I'm going to take your word for it.
Good, and I hear the PA guy's good too.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah. WABC News Time 5:49. Homeless New Yorkers advocates say clearing encampments often only just moves people instead of helping them. The debate playing out along the West Side Highway, where there is this large encampment that sits across from the Intrepid. Now, the city says it's going to shut this thing down, and they've given notice to the people there that they need to clear out. But you have these homeless advocates who say, okay, where are you going to move them to? And if it's to another shelter, they're going to go and build another encampment somewhere else because that's where they feel most safe. And here's a guy who's formerly homeless, says the encampments are protective spaces for those with no place to go until they find permanent housing. And he says the city homeless agency should know that ahead of time.
I was getting cleanup. I wasn't getting help. I would just come back because this is the safe place that we created.
Now, he said once he had a permanent place to live, of course, he never went back to an encampment. Homeless advocates yesterday on the streets outside this encampment in the Intrepid says the city needs a new approach to help those who are living on the streets.
Hearing this administration say that they want to pursue actual solutions, that they want people to be housed from the street, that they want people to get the care they need from the street.
When a sweep happens, all of that gets dispersed. All of that goes away. Actual solution to homelessness is housing.
Now, apparently, notice was given to this encampment that they will clear it out come Monday and warn people that it's time to leave. 5:51. What a vicious attack that took place while we were on the air yesterday morning. A 47-year-old man stabbed multiple times with a cleaver during a road rage incident in Queens. Now, this was in College Point, 126th Street and 26th Avenue. We don't know clearly what exactly happened, what words were said between these two male drivers, but detectives say the stabbing started with an argument and a crash between the drivers of a Toyota Sienna minivan and a white Honda CRV. Maybe they crashed into each other when they were listening to me.
One guy was chasing them around in a circle a couple times around the car, and then the guy beelined towards the front over here, and the guy chased him. Unloaded on, just kept hacking at him, hitting him over and over again.
Now, that's a construction worker. This attack took place right in front of a construction site. Construction workers are up early, and they saw this thing, and they tried to stop it from happening, but, they did eventually. Thankfully, this worker, or rather this man who was stabbed, he was stabbed in the head, the arm, and the chest with this meat cleaver. Now, we're being told he's going to be okay. Here's more from the construction worker who tried to break up this fight.
Me and a bunch of my coworkers tried to de-escalate the situation by not getting too close.
Yeah.
But trying to cause a commotion, stop, blah, blah, blah. He then panicked, ran towards it. We said, call 911. He ran to his car. One of our other coworkers tried to get him out the car, tried to stop him from leaving, and he took off.
Yeah, now who has a meat cleaver in their car? I mean, it's crazy. All right, so the victim is a 47-year-old from Staten Island. The attacker, he took off and then dumped the car about 2 blocks away. Police were canvassing the area all day yesterday, looking for possible clues, looking at surveillance video. So far, no signs of the man with the meat cleaver. Let's go up to Westchester, where the owner of a family-owned restaurant is dealing with a major financial loss after thieves broke into and stole thousands of dollars from his restaurant. It happened at the Modern Restaurant and Lounge. That's on Huguenot Street. Security video shows these 2 men breaking through the restaurant's front door, and then the thieves appeared to use a hammer before kicking in the entrance and going right for the restaurant's safe. Now, the owner says it seems odd that these people knew where the safe was, which makes you sort of feel like maybe it's an inside job.
6 minutes. I've never seen anything like it. They took a hammer and they hit it in the center a couple times just to break the integrity of it. And once there was a hole, you could see them on video kick it in, directly beeline to the office. They knew exactly where to go and exactly what to do. It's a big hit for us and a big loss.
Yeah, so $30,000. Imagine small business owner, $30,000 gone. New Rochelle police say the case remains under investigation. It's a second burglary at a family-owned business in Westchester just in the last couple of weeks.
North of $30,000. You have to cover payroll for several weeks, and right now, this time of the year is our slow season. We're just trying to figure out where the holes were and what we can do to kind of ensure that this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill cracking down on surveillance pricing for groceries. The governor yesterday signing the Fair Price Protection Act to ban grocery delivery platforms from using consumer data to set custom prices on groceries, which has become the new thing to do.
Over the course of a year, a family could spend $1,200 more for the very same groceries just because of an invisible algorithm.
Cheryl says the average family pays $310 more at the grocery store last year. And the governor signed this act, she says, and she wants to get them, these grocery platforms, not be able to use the consumer data to set the price on groceries.
Companies figure out where you live, where you shop, and even what you're Googling. And they use that data to calculate specific, often higher prices for items you need without your knowledge. They figure you're probably willing to pay $1.50, so that's what they charge you. And you're none the wiser that you've just paid more than the person who checked out right before you.
It's kind of like when you're on a plane and the guy next to you paid $200 and you spent $700 for the same ticket. We'll end with this story in this is Brooklyn, East Flatbush, Brooklyn. Here we go again. We see this every once in a while where you get the fake Con Ed workers walking the neighborhood. This guy has nothing to do with Con Ed, but he's wearing a Con Ed outfit. He shows up at a home on East 54th Street and Clarkson Avenue in East Flatbush this week. It's 2 p.m. He knocks on the door. He says, "Hey, I have an appointment." A 29-year-old woman answers the door. She lets this guy in, and then immediately he pulls out a gun. He puts it to her neck. He takes her purse, takes her credit cards, her phone. There was a 30-year-old man who was inside as well. Don't know. Assume it was her husband. He tried to stop this guy, but he hit him in the head with the gun before he ran off. Now, officers were able to track the stolen phone and then eventually find this fake worker. So thank God he's behind bars this morning. But, of course, the warning going out that this scam's back out there again.
We obtained surveillance video pretty quickly, so that gave us a very clear description and just how terrifying the incident was. In the surveillance video, you could see the individual wearing a yellow rain slicker with large pockets. It had a Con Edison logo on the side.
Yeah, so if you're unsure, this is what they always tell you to do. If you're unsure about that worker who's standing at your door and you didn't know they were coming, close the door, call the utility, and find out if they should be there, and then you'll get a sense of whether they should. This 56-year-old that they arrested is facing a host of charges, including robbery, burglary, and grand larceny.
Thanks for listening to the News Hour with Noam Laden. You can hear the News Hour with Noam Laden weekday mornings at 5 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?